What's up, YouTube? I've talked about this theory at the start of this channel. Obviously, talked about it over and over. Gave evidences for it over and over, just like I've given evidences for pretty much every theory continuously. Okay, so look, I have never given a diagram for this theory. Obviously, I did not foresee that neurotypicals could not comprehend what's said here without a diagram, but yeah, they probably need a diagram for this. So, no matter what, all I can do is say that I think that this this pretty much simplifies like the mathematical logical aspects of like time itself. Okay, like, but we all know that with cause and effect, you can't begin to do a thing if you don't do anything that can make you begin to do it at any point. So you look at how this right here, it says the number of past moments infinite in which God was not desiring to create anything. This has to have happened. There's a God. There's just there's no moment in which this God desires to create or begins to, because he always existed but didn't ever. He was always omniscient, always aware of why it's worthy of creating, but did not desire to do so. If you think about it, if you didn't desire to create, despite being omniscient, it must be because existence is not worth creating. If you were omniscient, that's one thing. Now, some people say there's only some moment is better later on to begin this process. Well, how do you figure that? Just by the fact, this is puzzled philosophers for all of history. The fact of the matter is, there's no way to logically prove, just from what you're saying there, that there's a later moment that's better. Like, that's just not how it works. There's not a later moment that's better. Like, because there's nothing to exist yet to make the later moment be better than the last one. There's not enough pre-existing things up to that point to make it that different, first of all. Second of all, just the fact that this is the question that's puzzled philosophers for all of history just goes to show that we can't necessarily trust these religions, man-made religions, that say otherwise. Especially given the extremely untrustworthy behavior of the people running these religions for all of history. It's not a coincidence. It's more like a no-brainer that these people are mentally ill criminals who are retarded, like I've said, and that should just be, restrained and thrown in jail and given martial law, like I said. But obviously, these people do not understand that even just mathematically speaking, like I said, you'd still have an infinity of which this God doesn't desire to create. What can make this God change his mind at this point? There has to be something to make him change his mind. And even if you say it's his self, why didn't this happen before? Why did this begin to happen but not happen before it did? Again, the fact that there's no way for later moments to be more suitable to begin the process of creation means that this doesn't make any sense ultimately. When you gather all the evidence of that, it doesn't suggest that it doesn't really make sense, and the paradoxes exist. God is a paradox. Now, of course, this would still lead to the moment God began to create, the moment God began to desire to create, which would still lead to the moment God began to create, which would lead to the present. Alternatively, you still have another paradox if you say that God began to exist from The moment God began to exist from an arrow pointing to... Yeah, so God began to exist, but it wasn't from anything that he did, which makes equally no sense by math or logic, by cause and effect, and which will lead to, if we say this is what happened, if there was a God, this would lead to the moment God began to create, would lead to the present. So, yeah, I just say that, yeah, it ultimately does not make sense. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. So I just think that there's really no better way to put it, I guess, what I'm trying to say. It just pretty much is pretty much just that, and yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. Well, there's no other way to explain it. If you want to look up what are the limitations and constraints of the laws of logic as it pertains to the laws of cause and effect in relation to this, go ahead, test it out yourself. And if you think it supports what I said in this video, then chances are I'm right. But hey, most people are too, retarded to do it, so mentally ill. So, but look, that's all there is for this video. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.